Namibia needs me and Namibia needs you. Welcome back to the podcast that unpacks the three biggest news stories of the week and does so with a different guest each time. This week with Jamie Lee Loss. We talk about sewage being dumped on municipal doorsteps. We talk about the president meeting with opposition parties. And we talk about
the nomination of regional council and local authority councillors.
That's it. Let's get into it. So today in studio we have Jamie Lee Loss, who is a very good influencer, content creator, so good that it's become a full-time gig. You've almost got 1 million followers on TikTok, which is
Yes, I do.
remarkable.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about what you do.
So I'm a content creator and influencer. I'm 23 years old and I basically do lifestyle content and anything fun. I do dance, I do fashion, I do food. I'm an all-rounder. But I think most importantly, I try to be as authentic as I can be online and just give people a taste of what it means to be Jamie.
Yeah.
I've also heard that what it means to be Jamie is to be quite a good fudge
My gosh,
maker.
the stirring. I'm already tired thinking of it. Yeah, so I've been making fudge since grade 9.
Wow.
And it's my little baby.
Oh.
So you can basically get fudge by following Fudge by Jamie and just contacting me.
Fudge by Jamie,
Fudge by
everyone.
Jamie. If you have a sweet tooth, of course.
You can take that as just a for sure,
Okay,
definitely.
okay.
So we're talking about a bunch of news in the run up to the elections. Have you voted before? Have you voted
Yes,
before?
I have
Of
voted.
course.
Have you voted before?
Yeah, but long story.
Okay, as long as it's a yes at the end
In
of the
more than
day.
one country, yes.
Okay, better. Making a change everywhere you go.
Yeah, I love that.
Let's go, Ethne.
Loving it.
Okay, so let's jump into the first story about sewage, right? So a
Yes.
bunch of sewage and rubbish was dumped on the Katutura Municipality doorsteps. Is that the story?
Yeah, so a group of residents just decided, look, we've been complaining to the city of Windhoek. There's a lot of refuse, and illegal dumping sites in our community, and it's affecting our kids, and it's such a big health hazard. And we've been complaining, but the city is doing nothing. So residents literally took sewage and rubbish in buckets and just dumped it in front of the city of Windhoek offices there in Katutura as a demonstration of, first of all, their anger, and to say that, look, let them see our reality. Like, let them see what is happening in
Yes.
our community so that they can relate with that and do something about our problem. Yo.
It's intense.
Yeah.
I think, of course, it's not the right way to go about it, but what is the right way to go about it when you're sitting in the smell? You understand?
Yeah.
So it's always different when you're in the situation and going through it. I'm from Karatura, Koreangava, and there are a lot of illegal dumping sites, and there was a point where the one dumping site we wanted to go throw away our rubbish because our dustbin was full, and the people in that specific area were just like, no, you're not allowed to dump here anymore. And I feel like they also took it into their own hands, but in a different way, in a different approach. So they sort of said, you're not gonna come here and throw your stuff here anymore. So I think it's just people or communities respond to situations in different ways.
I love the story of yours because, first of all, it's like it happened spontaneously, right?
Yeah.
People just started dumping there spontaneously.
Yes.
But then also they started dumping there spontaneously because their rubbish was full,
Yes.
which is the
You
responsibility
see,
of.
Of the city to
it's
ensure,
it's
yeah.
just a cycle, man.
But
I
then
don't.
also they took control of it and they're like, okay, we're dealing with the situation now,
Yeah.
so we're gonna control people's illegal dumping.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And I think the key takeaway should be, as citizens, there are constitutional ways through which we can advocate for issues. One of which is try to have a meeting with the decision maker. Another one is a petition. Yes, and of course, demonstrations. And of course, you could also go to court. Our constitution allows for various means through which we can address different problems. I would just want to know what are some of those lesser means of advocacy that were employed before, dumping the rubbish. Since I also know it's a developing story, and because as citizens, that should be our first step.
Yeah.
Try to find, the lesser ways, so that when you take those kinds of steps, it's not entirely justified because it's actually a crime because people did get fined for it, but it actually shows that you tried as an active citizen to try to address something. You just did not get any response. Like the other candidate respond to yeah.
Another principle is obviously the Public Gatherings and Public Processions Bill 2024, which is more strict, more restrictive than its apartheid era predecessor. What are your thoughts on that? That in 2025 we are more inclined to take people's democratic rights to protest away from them than we were in apartheid.
It shouldn't be, you
It's
know?
kind of
Yeah.
crazy to think about, actually.
Yeah.
But it's happening in the whole world,
I
right?
think I don't know, it doesn't seem as obvious because I feel like we think that we have more of a voice now, but like he said, it's like you go and make your statement, but then you get fined. They're like, oh, okay, but you get fined afterwards. So it's like it's discouraging for someone that wants to make a statement and just be heard, because what if they did go through all the other processes and the response might have been there but maybe a bit slow, because like I said, sitting in the issue is different from being in an office somewhere else, you know.
Yeah.
So it's easy to say we are working on it, but there are people out there sitting in that smell, there are kids playing around that area, and like we spoke about, it's a health risk as well, especially with things like mpox coming up now back again, and we did go through COVID. So
Yeah.
do we want something new to start for the issue to be taken seriously, or you know? So it's tough.
Yeah.
It's so tough.
It shouldn't be that in a democracy people's voices are silent, because if anything people should be allowed to be more vocal, so that first of all it puts government on edge to perform. And that is literally what, at the end of the day, we won't have these challenges if, from, let's say, the municipality side, they was effectively addressing these issues. Then we wouldn't. So, a vibrant society, a society that holds government accountable, is even healthier for a democracy, so that there is development. Like the Namibia we want will only come if we as citizens are as vibrant as, these people tried. Yeah.
So Nandi and I were gathering our opposition parties and saying, listen, let's work together. How can we assist you in your mandates? And Janola, you were talking earlier about how you know about the money that opposition parties get according to the seats that they have in parliament. And I was just like, Janola, where have you not worked before? Because he knows this from a previous job. So there's an institutionalized way in which our government supports opposition parties to be able to carry out the projects that they promise. So we can actually hold opposition parties accountable.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yes. So basically, when the different political parties and, of course, the presidential candidates ran last year, we now have a first female president, right? But we also have a different variety of political parties in parliament. Obviously, the ruling party, the SWAPO party, they have the most seats, but there are also other political parties like the oppositions, your LPMs, your PDMs. But, and but they also had different manifestos that they campaigned for, different things they wanted to do for the people. Now, according to the Electoral Act, they get funds through which they can then do those promises, fulfill those promises that they made to us, last year when they were running. So each political party, depending on the number of seats they have, they get some millions. So if you have one seat, you get around 1 million. If you have 16 seats, you get around 16 million a year for you to be able to fulfill those promises you made to Namibians. So opposition parties are institutionally capacitated to be able to fulfill their mandate, and that is why we can also hold them accountable and say, no, but this is what we promised. Yes, you are not the ruling party at the moment, but you are getting funds. How are you using those funds to therefore do the things that you promised, even if it's at a lesser scale?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, it helps us see as citizens what they're gonna do with what they have. Even if you just get a 1 million, you can touch on one project, or at least
Yes.
the beginning of the project. You can start something. So it then helps us in our next election to see who do we want to go with based on what they've done, and not the empty promises or things that are being promised in the beginning when they are campaigning. And also, I think with our president doing that, she's giving other political parties a chance and a platform to really also assist in growing the nation, because whatever manifestos or whatever projects they want to work on, the winning or the SWAPO basically can then use those ideas and then still implement them in a way, or at least start off something for the parties to assist. So I think it's only to the benefit of the citizens in the country. Really, it's not, I don't think there's any underlying motive or anything else. But like, I think it's just for a good cause.
Yeah,
Honestly.
you really seem to be like optimistic
No,
about
I'm
it as
definitely
a
optimistic.
way of like taking
Yeah.
voice
Because
and
it is for us.
listening.
Yeah. Because not everyone, we obviously all voted for different political parties. So it's nice to know that our voices are being heard in a way. Yeah.
Party lists have been made public. How would you
Yeah,
summarize
so the
that for us, Janola?
nomination of the candidates that will appear on the ballot papers for regional council elections, your constituency elections, have now been official. Now we know exactly who are the candidates that will be on the ballot, so that you as a citizen have the opportunity to vet them, because you need to make an informed decision about who you are voting. Because yes, I have a political party that I love and that I'm supporting, but that candidate that they are putting, is it just one comrade that has been in office and is lazy? So it is my job to make sure that who are the people, and let me make an informed decision. And that is why last week ECN made the announcement. The nomination process ended. The different presiding officers all over the country exactly at 11 o'clock, they were announcing these are the candidates, handing them their certificates of nomination. Yeah, so that is basically what happened over the course of last week.
And so now we can start informing ourselves. In my constituency, there are 121 constituencies nationally. At the moment, we're seated in Windhoek West. In my constituency, which individual am I going to vote for? And you've been trying to educate me on this all year, Janola. So let's see if I finally have it right. So in my constituency, I get to vote for an individual. From who is also then part of a political party, or an individual who is
Independent,
right? But you vote for the person, and that person will be responsible for the planning of your constituency, representing your concerns to your municipality or your town or your village council on your behalf. But it's more of a planning capacity. Then in your regional council authority elections, you'll be voting for a political party or an association. But even there, they have listed the person who will be responsible for the specific job in your town, village, or municipality.
Yes.
Have I got it?
You got it,
Finally.
yes.
Fantastic.
Congrats.
Yes. So now that we have the opportunity to see who are the candidates, it is also our responsibility to do some homework. Look at the candidate, look at their history, look at their work experience, judge them based on what they have done, and also based on the promises that they are making, so that if those promises resonate with what you want to see in your constituency, that's who you cast your vote for.
I might end up voting for someone who I trust because of their competence or their experience.
Yeah.
Even if they're from my least favorite party.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true.
And also it's our job that, because now all the political parties, they submitted lists for local authority. So like, let's say if you are sitting in Gibeon has a village council, and that village council is comprised of 5 councillors. So different political parties submitted their lists, to run for that municipality. So you have to now go and check who are the candidates on that list, so that when you are voting and your particular favorite political party, let's say the first 3 people that will get in, who are they? Are they effective? Because this election is important, because these are the people that will make decisions that will easily affect you.
Decentralization.
Yes, so it's your job, go and check who are the
How are we
candidates that
going
my
to
party
vote
is
this
putting forward.
year?
Yeah.
Are we going to have a good time voting?
Yeah, definitely. We just have to go send in those lines. But I think like what you said is so important. It's a bit different because these decisions that are made by this person that we vote for and that may win are going to affect us directly. Like if there are potholes and you complain about the potholes and this person just continues to ignore,
Yes.
it's what you chose.
Like with the sewage.
Exactly. The time is already now for
Yeah.
us to now take all our energy and go do our research and really just vote for who we think is the right candidate, because it's really going to affect us in the long run.
And interestingly, colleagues, do you know that only 38% of registered voters showed up to vote in the 2020 local authority and regional council elections? Yeah, meaning
I'm
that
not shocked.
so ECN reported that only 38% showed up, and this just shows that concerning these elections, people don't really take it serious. And why do I say these elections should even be taken more serious is because the decisions made by our local authority councillors, and mind you, the responsibilities of our local authority councillors are allocation of plots. And as young people, we need plots, naming of streets, sewage, road maintenance, building recreational parks, even simple things like, MSME development, like, how there are markets in different towns. Yes, your local authority councillors and your regional councillors, they are responsible for those things. So when there is no development in the constituency you come from, those are the first people that you hold accountable, because the decisions they make directly translate into the well-being where your house is. Or even as a young person, you need land. Because land is an interesting thing. So we must be able to find that thing that we love and cast a vote for for the person that focuses on
Yes,
addressing that problem.
definitely.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Janola. Thank you so much for joining us in studio. It was
It was
lovely
nice
to
having
have
you,
your
Jamie.
thoughts.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and we'll see you in those lines. I won't be
Definitely.
the one pushing
I
in.
have to. I'll be making snaps there. Guys, come vote. Calling my people.
Thank you so much.
You're not too young to vote, guys.
So, those were great stories, right? So, for more civic education content, visit Namibia Needs Me on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and of course, our website, a database resource made just for you.